Hey, how's it going? My name is Thomas Pena. I am a nuclear electrician in the Navy, first class petty officer.
All right, sounds good, man.
Um,
And where are you from originally?
I'm from San Antonio, Texas. My father was in the Navy,
Okay.
but so I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, but then we moved back home after he got out when I was two. So
Okay. What
spent
was
most of
his
my life
rate?
here. He was an HT,
An
Tall
HT.
Tech.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. And how was your upbringing out in San Antonio? Like middle school, high school?
It was interesting to say the least. I grew up most of my childhood without my father.
Okay.
After he got out of the Navy, he started
Mhm.
rolling with the same group that he rolled with before he joined.
Mm.
Got in with the wrong crowd,
Okay.
started doing business with people that he probably shouldn't have,
Mm.
and unfortunately got arrested under the RICO Act conspiracy to sell and distribute or something like that. Mostly because he wouldn't roll over on his buddies.
Okay. I
So,
could kind of relate to that
yeah,
with my
yeah.
pops as well.
Yeah, so he was locked up for a lot of my childhood.
Okay.
Mother worked 80 hours a week trying to keep us afloat.
Wait,
Grandmother took
did you
care of
just
us.
80 hours a week?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And this is why you guys were in middle school and high school.
Yeah, middle school, high school.
How many siblings do you have?
I have two siblings,
Okay.
but my sister was born after my father got out of jail.
Hmm.
My parents broke up for like a year and
Okay.
then reconciled, and they, got back together. And then my sister was born. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so when you were in high school, maybe middle school, when did you kind of got that idea of you wanted to join the military?
I actually never thought I would join, like, at all. I was vehemently against it. I was like, no way. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get a degree. I'm
Yeah.
going to work with computers. I've been into computers my whole life.
Hmm.
And I actually didn't join right out of high school. I went to
Okay.
college for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years. And I dropped out. A little too much
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Did some things I wasn't supposed to. Lost my scholarships, and then
Okay.
how it goes. So
What
I
what
was
was your
work.
major when you were still going to college?
My major was computer science with a minor
Okay.
in digital forensics.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, man. So after that 3 years in
Mhm.
college, what happened after that? What got you into the military?
So I started working some jobs here and there. I actually started listening to a podcast for the game League of Legends. I got
Okay.
really into it, and they talked about wanting to start up a stream.
Okay.
And I reached out to them, and I was like, "Hey, I will, do the stream."
Yeah.
They picked me up, so me and like 14 other people, different days of the week, we started
Mhm.
streaming. It
Okay.
ended up getting pretty big for the time. I think uh, for a while there was
Mhm.
like 2,000, 3,000 people watching every day, which was unheard of at the time. This was before
Yes.
Twitch TV was even Twitch TV,
Yep.
so this was a while ago. And
Speaking of
I
league, I did play that as well before I went, but I was never good, man. What was your rank?
Oh, the highest I ever got was gold, and I got
Dude,
up to
okay,
gold
me too.
4.
Yep.
Well, so before the ranking system was like
How it is
bronze,
now.
silver, gold,
Hmm.
it was elo, and I was like
Yes.
1,700 elo, I think.
Okay.
It was a while ago. And then when it went to the ranking system it is now, highest I got was gold, and I was like, man, I can't keep climbing like this. It's just not fun anymore.
Yep. When the game's starting to become like the work, that the fun kind of goes out the window
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit. Um,
yeah.
so how did this League of Legends thing translate to you thinking about this Navy or military?
So I went to MLG Dallas one year, and I
Okay.
met up with this shoutcaster. His name is Golden Boy. If you've seen like competitive Call of Duty, you probably have
Okay.
heard the name. He's
Okay.
a really big name in Call of Duty commentary.
Hmm.
And the Frag Dolls, this group of girl gamers sponsored by Ubisoft that disbanded like 2 or 3 years ago,
Okay.
they introduced me to him when they heard that I was a commentator and shoutcaster, and we started talking about maybe working for IGN. He said that he had like seen some of my stuff,
Hmm.
and I was super excited. And he said, "Hey, if you want to try out for this position we have as a shoutcaster for IPL. I think it was IPL 5.
Okay.
Let me know. Shortly after that, they sold IPL 5, and IPL 5 for League of Legends never happened. So I was like, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
I got scared, and I needed
Okay.
some sort of backup, and
Mhm.
I just thought, why not military?
What made you decide to be in the Navy? Choosing
So
that.
Navy wasn't my first choice. I actually walked into an Air Force recruiting office,
Me too.
and so I walked in, and they did not take me seriously. I actually used to weigh
Yes.
about 260, 270 pounds.
What?
Yeah, I was a big
Is it
boy.
them
I was huge.
video games, huh?
Oh yeah, no, I was pretty big.
Okay.
They basically told me, "Hey, lose 100 pounds and come back." So I
Damn.
took a year. I lost
Okay.
100 pounds, and I went back. So
Okay.
they set me up with the ASVAB.
Mhm.
I took the ASVAB. I
Wait,
got
you went back
99.
to the Air Force.
Air Force, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And
Yeah, I
then
took the ASVAB, got a 99. I was like, awesome. That's a good one, right? That's a good score.
yes.
And they told me, hey, you can have any job you want. I was like, so I have two jobs that I want. I'm cool with either one of them. And they're like, whoa, 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 hold on. Pick your top 10 jobs and we will get you one of them. It's like, well, how do I know when I'm getting, like, how do I know what I'm getting? I wonder,
Yes.
like, is it before I sign the contract, after I sign the contract? Like, no, you sign the contract and we'll assign you one of the jobs.
Mm.
And I wasn't about it. I'm not about to
Yeah.
roll the dice and hope I get something I like. I can think of two jobs, nowhere near 10, that I would enjoy doing. So no
Hmm.
thanks.
Okay.
I went over to the Marines office because I was like, wow, Marines sound cool. As soon
Hmm.
as I walked in, the guy behind the desk just like, how many pull-ups can you do? I was like, well, I'm in the wrong
Always.
place.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't belong here. I went over to the Army office
Okay.
and I went to MEPS, did my physical with the Army.
Nice.
And when I got to the point where I was talking to a classifier, they said, hey, what job are you looking for? And I told them anything with technology, computers,
Mhm.
anything like that. And they said, well, we've got nothing for you.
Wow.
We have cardiovascular specialists, and they listed off a lot of really cool sounding jobs in the medical
Mhm.
field, but that's just not my thing. I
Yeah.
said, no, I don't really want to do it. And I was willing to like come back at a later time or try again. But what really persuaded me to go another route, the recruiter who sent me down there for the Army pulled me over to the next room and was like, hey, you got to pick a job. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want those.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you really like, you have to pick one. I was like, no, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
And he said, look, I need you. It started raising his voice. Like, I need you to pick a job. Like, these are really cool jobs. I looked at him and said, then you do them.
Yep.
He didn't like that at all.
Oh.
He was really upset, started screaming at me. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, when you decide to stop acting like a child, we can
Hmm.
continue this conversation. I just walked out of MEPS.
Yep.
About a week later, my dad said, what about Navy? I was in the Navy. It wasn't bad. I was like, okay, I'll check it out.
Quick
So
question,
I
real
went over to the
quick.
Navy. Yeah.
So you knowing about of course, your dad was in the military, being an HT.
Mhm. Yep.
Why didn't that cross your mind? For instance, now you went through three.
Yeah. It should have, but I guess what really kind of like put it out of my mind at first,
Mhm.
obviously Air Force, a lot of people want to go Air Force because they have the biggest budget and they're known for having an easier life.
Yep.
All the jokes, chair force, things like that. So I was like, yeah, I don't mind chair force. I'll be in the chair force.
Exactly.
But I I guess it was my dad's influence that kind of made me steer away from Navy
Okay.
because I guess in his mind he was like, nah, he doesn't really want to do anything like that. You should probably try out. And it was at his suggestion that I went to other branches.
Okay.
And when things didn't work out, he was like, why not try Navy? Maybe you'll like it. It's like, okay, well, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
I went, I talked to the recruiter at the Navy office a week later.
Mhm.
They sent me down to MEPS and I asked them the same thing, anything in technology. They had me sold on AECF, so either ET or FC.
Okay.
And
Pretty good
I was like,
program,
okay,
I think. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. That sounds not bad. ET electronics, that sounds computer-like.
Yeah.
Great. Right before I signed my contract, though, the nuclear guy pulled me aside and said, hey, have you heard anything about nuke? How do you feel about it? I don't know what it is.
Wait, so you
So,
didn't hear about the nuke until you got to
yeah.
MEPS?
Yeah.
That's crazy because right now I'm working at MEPS, and for the most part, the recruiters will always want if they see anything above 72, they're like, all right, let me look at their line score real quick. Talk about Nuke already.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. How you got a
Yeah.
99 and yeah, wow.
Yeah, apparently my recruiter was a new guy because
Okay.
they were still like coaching him on paperwork and stuff. I remember that part of it. He was like, "Hey, do we have to fill out the this form and that form?" Okay, okay, cool. And then he would fill it out, as I was talking to him.
Okay.
So he might have been new and not really known that that's what you want to shoot for if you have someone with a higher score.
Okay.
So yeah, no, the new guy pulled me aside and said, "Hey, how you heard about Nuke?" Explain the whole thing to me, and I was like, "Okay, well, maybe." He was like, "Okay, well, how about we fill out this paperwork?
Okay.
If you want Nuke and you get it, you can change your job,
Mhm.
and if you decide you don't want it, no big deal. You still have the paperwork in, so if you change your mind later, we can switch it for you." It's like, "Okay, sounds good."
Wait, so this
So
is
we did the
Nuke
paperwork.
first, or are you gonna go with a different job first?
No, no, I went with ACF, and I had to sign that contract in order to be considered for Nuke.
Yes.
So I signed the contract for ACF, and they
Mhm.
put in the package for Nuke.
Okay.
About a month later, I heard back that they had accepted me into Nuke.
Nice.
I had a couple of waivers for some bad grades,
Okay. And
and
did you have to take the NAPT, or you were already pre-qualified?
I was pre-qualified.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, during that month where I was waiting, I did a lot of research. I looked into the nuclear program and how lucrative it can be once you get out. I said, you know what, that sounds good. If I get it, I'm taking it.
Yeah, most
It's not
definitely.
bad.
And how long were you in a DEP program for?
Debt program for about 10 months.
Okay. Oh, 10 months? Hmm. Yeah, I
Hmm.
was about like for about 8 months as well because I was picky with the jobs I wanted as well. And they're like, hey, if you want this job, you're gonna wait about 8 months. I'm like, I'll wait a year if you want me to.
Yeah.
Yep. If I'm assigned like this 4, 5, 6 year contract,